Why did you choose Kingston?
I really wanted to be nearer London, but not completely within the city, which kind of what appealed to me. But also, I think I'm from Sheffield, and a lot of people that I went to school with, everyone stays in the north of England, and I was quite keen to branch out and experience something totally different than I kind of knew anybody else had done. So it's been really good. I really like the community of Kingston because it's not too big, so everyone's quite together. And I like in uni that there's a lot of people that you recognise all the time, and it's good. And there's a good amount of people on the course. I don't think a higher amount of people we would have had the same environment and
we get a lot of one-on-one.
Yeah, an awful lot, and everyone's got a really good rapport within the course, which I think is
that relationship is
it's really tight, and I think that's because of the good amount of numbers of people within in the course, which is.
What about you?
Good.
Why Kingston?
Kingston, for me, was because like the idea, I didn't want to be at home because I'm from London. I did not want to be. I'm from central, like east central London. So I was like, I want to get out here, but I didn't want to be too far away from home. So I thought, sorry. Then I looked, and there was Kingston. And another thing was the structure and the content of the course, the field trips. When I looked at the website, the field trips jumped out at me. But then when I looked at what I was being taught for the modules, I was like, hold on, everything here is relatable to the real world. Like, you can see things such as, we studied bits of global warming, migration, stuff like that, and everything that you see in the real world. It's like you said, it's apparent, like, and everything, you can relate it. Like, there's nothing that you're completely clueless about. Everything we do, there's an aspect of it that is relatable to society. Do you know what I mean? There's policies with global warming, climate change, migration, which is a big issue for this country. So you can see, I think it's a very relevant degree.
You can apply it.
Yeah. I've got a question for you. What do you enjoy most about human geography? Like, what aspect of the course do you enjoy the most?
Well, obviously the field trips themselves are good fun because it's getting out in the field and it's conducting the research. I mean, we just came back from Malta, and it's the first real project that we've had to do, or I've had to do from sort of off my own back.
Yeah, independently.
Independent project study. So we thought of our own question, a research question, our own study, our own research. We looked at everything ourselves before we went, so conducted our own literature review, and then when we were out there we had to arrange our own interviews, conduct our own interviews, and I think that it was good to get the experience of doing it.
I think with the field trips as well, the lecturers that we went away with Annie and Jenny and Stuart, they're so enthusiastic all the time that the whole entire week that we were away, everything was interesting. And there was one day we had when it rained, the whole entire day that we were out, but Stuart just managed to keep everyone's spirits up.
Yeah, there's a good rapport between
really good.
lecturers.
I think the lecturers really keep everybody going for the whole entire trip.
The thing I like about the field trips is that, in a way, it prepares you for the real world because you're having to identify a problem, develop a strategy how to solve that problem, getting the data, and then analyze it and making sense of it. So I think when we finish our degree and we go into the real world, that's exactly what we're going to have to do. Do you know what I mean? So I think giving us this experience during the course of our degree is vital. Like, it's essential. It's a really, really, really good thing.
Yeah.
A lot of courses don't actually do this, but for us as human geographers to do it, I think it's really, really good.
I also think the fact that the course itself is predominantly coursework based, I think benefited myself. Because I struggle with exams, always have, and I think the fact that it is coursework based has helped me.
But I think, like you said, with South Africa, we felt quite a lot with Malta that before we went, our preliminary study, you kind of build up your perceptions of what it was going to be like, and when we got actually thrown into the Maltese community, it was totally different. But it enabled us to take everything on board, and actually we progressed so much further than we'd ever initially imagined. I think being able to do the field work really pushed us, didn't it?
Yeah, we snowballed. Okay. Did you go on the South Africa trip in your final year?
Yeah, I did go on the South Africa trip. It was amazing. Because the work and play ratio was good. Like, you had to do the academic side of work, but still you got to enjoy South Africa as a country. You got to see what you were being taught in place, like in action. You see things about poverty, uneven development. It was literally just right in your face. So it was like transferring everything from the classroom into the real world. It's good.
And did you get to visit the shanties and things?
Yeah, we did get to go into the shanty towns. We had, because the way it was, there was a project on shanty towns, so we had to go in there to interview people who live in shanty towns and see how they operate. And also, well, for me and most of the people in the course, it changed our perceptions, because what the Western world sees as shantytown is, oh, it's slum, it's crime, it's drug, it's rape. But when you go there, you see small businesses, you see children going to school, you see people working, so you're like, hold on, this is not what I see in England. Do you know what I mean? It changes your perception of everything. Yeah, but it's pretty good.
Did you do a project on like multiple different things, or did you just
Yeah,
get to
well,
pick one?
there's two different projects. You picked an individual project, mine which was community project, and then there was a strategic report where you have to literally look at all the aspects of development, such as water, HIV and AIDS, anything that's relevant to South Africa, and you literally write a report on all those aspects. So, even though you have different fields of geography, human, physical, sustainable development, you would then write the strategic report based on your field. So as a human geographer, I looked at issues related to HIV, gender, stuff like that. Whereas for someone who's done environmental science, I look at water management, stuff like that. So yeah, but because it's a final year, you get to choose the route you want to go. You have
That's
complete
good.
flexibility over what you do, what you take, what project you take up, what you look at, etc.
We've just
That's
come back
good.
from Malta, and we were told it was like a preliminary study towards our dissertation.
Okay.
So before we went out, we conducted research on what we wanted to study in Malta. Well, did you do that sort of thing before you went out to South Africa?
Yeah, because for South Africa we had to do because before you go you're assigned your project, so what you do is you have to read around it and then produce a literature review, which this year wasn't graded for us, so it's just to give you an idea of what's to come, like what you're going to see, make you aware of things so you don't go to South Africa not knowing anything about what you're seeing. So yeah, you have to do pre-work before you go there.
That's good. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, sounds good fun.
What's been your favourite module that you've done throughout your 3 years?
My favourite module, I think I have to say the South Africa module, because that's the only module where we didn't have any lecturers bear in mind for this module. Like literally, it was the initial report that you submit before you go. You went to South Africa, you conducted your own research, did your work, and then you hand it in. Like from second year, I didn't do in second year we have a module called independent study. I didn't do that, so I didn't actually. Everything else has been taught to you. Go to your lecture, sit down. But this one with South Africa, there was no in-class lecture. Literally, it was do the report, this, and in a way, it showed me that I can work off my own back kind of thing. It builds my independence. It teaches me how to research, how to analyse, how to write better. So I think, and it was South Africa, amazing. Do you know what I mean? How many people get to say, oh, I went to South Africa to do my degree? Do you know what I mean?
What are you hoping to do your dissertation on next year?
Well, I'm interested in, I want to, when I finish uni, the idea is to go into something to do with regeneration schemes in promoting equality in communities. So I thought it would be a good idea to conduct a dissertation on something to guide me towards doing that. So I'm looking at the extent to which community involvement is important in promoting a sustainable community. I'm going to look at that in Plymouth because it has one of the highest regeneration rates in the UK.
Do you think everything you've studied so far has kind of really helped you build up a question, or
Yeah.
has that always been something that...
It's always been something that I've been interested in. I don't know why, but it has. I've always been interested. Well, so, I mean, sustainability is very apparent. My brother also studies environmental economics, and a lot of that is to do with sustainability. So I've learned a lot from him, which kind of guided me to come to Kingston to conduct my course, because I knew that a lot of the modules are guided towards sustainable development and society, like you mentioned, which is obviously an important aspect of community. I mean, the modules as well, I've just finished a module on town planning itself, so that's very specific. But as well as that, we've done modules in culture, place, society, which groups together the psychological aspects of geography. I mean, I think before I came to uni to study geography, I don't think it was quite as clear from what you learn at A level to what you're going to learn at university level. There's quite a lot of psychology, especially in the geography aspect.
Yeah,
which
that
is
was something that shocked me, because I
Which-
was looking at positivism and humanism. I'm like,
Yeah.
isn't this something psychology?
But I've
sociology?
really enjoyed it. I mean, I think it's a different, it's a very different take on
yeah,
geography, but
definitely.
the whole concept of space and place and the
It's
importance.
definitely opened up, I agree with you, areas that we didn't actually realise were geography related at A level.
That's true.
Is there any aspects that either of you struggled with when you started uni?
Try and get the hang of referencing.
Yeah,
It's
that
fair.
that was horrible. But then again, like, the lectures are helpful, so obviously you don't come to uni expecting you to be perfect at referencing during your first year, but like, you always, I think we got a lecture on how to reference properly the Harvard style, so
Yeah.
that helped it along. But
And referencing doesn't change as well. Once you've got the hang of it, that's
yeah,
it.
it's the same. But the thing I like when it comes to the assessments is that it varies. Like, it's not just coursework and exams. You have oral presentations, you have debates, and I think posters and stuff like that. And I think all those things, like I said, I keep saying it again, you can take that with you. It prepares you for the working world. You're going to have to do oral presentations, you're going to have to make posters, you're going to have to talk to people. And I feel like the way they assess us, it prepares us for the real world.
Yeah, and I think as well, some of the, I don't know about you, but some of the work we've done has been group work, and you've been put in groups. And I know initially for me, I quite like to stay in my comfort grounds, and working with people that I don't know, I don't like. But then actually doing the assessment, it's really made me kind of step up, because you've got to meet the other people in terms of doing the work. Because when you're not sure how other people work, you've got to just put in that little bit of an extra step, and that being pushed that little bit, I think, has been really beneficial. I definitely recommend Kingston. I think the experience I've had is one that is kind of, it's enabled me, it sounds really cliche, but I feel like I've really blossomed. I feel like not only have all my skills in terms of education-wise and my writing have really developed, but it's given me opportunities, and it's put me in the knowledge of jobs that I would have had absolutely no idea. And I think a lot of that is to do with Kingston's position with London. We're encouraged an awful lot to go into London, and it's just opened my eyes to an opportunity within what the university offers and how I can develop from there, which I don't think I would have got from anywhere else.
You don't just come here to get a degree. You learn valuable life skills. Like, you meet great people. I've made some strong friendships down here.
Very much.
It took me out, like you said, it takes you out of your comfort zone. It puts you into the world. You see things from different perspectives. The lecturers are amazing. Like you said, you build a relationship with lecturers. You can go to them to get feedback on your work, and they help you.
I just think as well that because there is slightly less students than maybe the bigger universities, I feel as though I have had a place on the course, and I feel that as an individual, your input into the course and into your place at university is quite valued. You're not just another number, you are actually a student, and you're actually valued as an individual.
It's a lot.
in the course.
It's very community based. I think
Very.
even within the not just the departments and within your lectures, but as in the whole uni throughout the sports teams. I think for me, Kingston gave a fresh aspect of London. You know, it's like Regina said, it's just away from Central, and I think that was a big positive for me. Why I wanted to come to Kingston. And the fact as well that the module choices themselves throughout the whole 3 years of the course varied so much and covered so many aspects, but were still specific. They were still specific in what they were wanting to achieve in that module. And I think, having studied the course and being in my second year now, I think I've really benefited from it.
Yeah. And I think most of all is the field trips.
Yeah.
I just think the field trips have just absolutely made the course for me at the end of it. I think having a different field trip every single year that's so drastic to Malta was so drastic to the one we did in first year, and then progressing to South Africa, it's just
Yeah, the UK based
really
trips.
opened everything up.
Yeah.
I think that's been a fantastic opportunity.
The aspect for me that also jumps out is, like you mentioned, career. Like, when you're in A-level and 6, you can think, oh, what do you want to do? Geography. Oh, you want to become a teacher. But actually, you come to university and you realise there is so much you can do with human geography that you didn't think of when you was in high school or college. I mean, there's so much you can do. So I think coming to Kingston, taking human geography degree, your options are endless. You can apply to
It's opened a
anything.
lot of doors, and like you said about promoting London to the students in Kingston, it's opened up a lot of doors with employment and things. There's a lot of links through Kingston.
With the university and the community, because we recently did a project with Kingston Town Centre and a regeneration scheme, so you actually get to work with the local council. There you go, building work relations, and they even offered us work placement, so that's a bonus. You know what I mean?
I think the lecturers are always really keen to help you. I know I've been a couple of times to ask about work experience, and it does feel as though they want to help you every step of the way to ensure that you get exactly where you want to be, and it feels like they really want to support you through all aspects, not only when you finish the course.
Yeah,
It's good.